don't like to do album rankings for bands with less than 10 albums, but Killer had such a long career that it gives me enough material to talk about. Today's special guest for the album cover presentation is Lesya. The debut from 1981 is a good rock and roll album, but not as heavy as its follow-ups. In songs like Rock and Roll Fan or It's Too Late, you can hear the 60s influences, some blues, some boogie, not metal. It's the oldest Killer album and you can hear that. After a break of several years, Killer attempted a restart in 1990 with a more melodic album. Fatal Attraction has a couple of good songs, for example the final track I'm on Fire, but after the previous two albums it was not what the fans expected. Ten years after Immortal, Monsters of Rock appeared on the shelves. It's the longest Killer album with 15 songs running almost 70 minutes. There are some great songs on it. Shotgun Symphony, Back to the Roots, Firestorm, Hold Your Head Up High, but also a few forgettable ones like Deaf, Blind and Dumb, Forever Metal, or the failed attempt to write a ballad with Danger Zone. Talking about slow songs, the bluesy Making Magic is a very nice touch. So, Monsters of Rock is a mixed bag, but with enough good songs to be worth the money. A strong album that would probably still belong in the top 5 if Killer had released more records. Stone Cold shows a darker side of the band. Touch of Evil and the title track Immortal are also among my faves. On the previous album, the addition of keyboards had seemed a bit unusual to some fans, but by the time Immortal came out, they were a familiar part of the sound already. I liked it. Broken Silence was the comeback album of the band for the 21st century. The title track of the album tells us literally how Killer wanted to break their silence, return to play metal, and they manage here to both maintain their old strength and expand their style. Tracks like Time Machine or In the Land of the Pharaoh have an atmosphere and a musical skill beyond their capabilities in the 80s. For many 80s bands on their return in the 2000s, reviewers usually said things like, "Oh, it's not bad, but the old stuff was better." On Broken Silence, however, you can recognize it's still Killer, while they even have something more to offer. Promoting this album, Killer played several festivals, and I could see them live for the first time. They are really sympathetic guys who enjoy to be close to their fans. The second album by Killer was an impressive speed attack for 1982. Wall of Sound, Blinded or Kleptomania remain classics until today. Only the cover with a colorful guitar looks like pop music. Trust me, this is misleading. With their third album in 1984, Killer reached their peak of power, speed and energy. The title track surely is the song which made me a Killer fan. From In the Name of the Law to Blood on the Chains to Time Bomb, the rest kills just as much. I wanted to avoid any puns about Killer tracks, but can't. While cover artworks of Killer had been poor most of the time, this one says it all. It's just as massive as tons of stone crashing down. Impossible not to enjoy if you're a metal fan. Enough for today, go and play some of their albums.